Imagine an AI that doesn't just sit in a browser waiting for your questions.
Right.
It actively works in the background while you sleep. It's quietly managing your entire digital life. Pete, welcome to the deep dive.
Thanks for having me. We're exploring OpenClaw today. Specifically, we're looking at part 2 of the masterclass.
We are building an assistant that runs 24 hours a day.
Yeah, it's a completely different paradigm for how we work.
There is something profound about handing over agency to a machine. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we will unpack how to connect OpenClaw to the real world. Then, we'll literally write the AI's actual soul.
That's the fun part.
After that, we'll put your digital life on complete autopilot. Finally, we'll give the bot a voice and live web access.
Let's jump in. Getting OpenClaw running is actually incredibly fast now.
You can use a managed setup like Agent 27, right?
Exactly. The entire environment is already prepared for you on their servers. It takes about 1 minute to get the basics online.
But a basic chat interface is simply not enough. You need the bot to do actual work for you.
It needs hands, essentially.
Precisely. That is where skills come into the picture. You can find these skills on clawhub.ai.
Or you can just type /clawhub directly into Telegram.
Right. Skills give your bot entirely new abilities. They allow it to interact with other software apps.
It's like giving your AI a set of digital power tools.
Yeah.
But we need to issue a quick warning here.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't connect too many apps on day one.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with third-party skills. Some skills can actually be malicious. They might ask for permissions they don't really need. Always check the virus total reports first.
You really need to scrutinize those permissions closely. I want to look deeply at the Google Workspace skill.
Usually called GOG.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the integration that changes everything. It connects your bot to your actual digital life.
It is a massive leap in capability. It links up to your Gmail and your Google Calendar.
It connects to Drive, Docs, Sheets, and your contacts.
Yeah, but the architecture of setting this up requires real patience. It's not just clicking a simple install button. I still wrestle with setting up oath credentials myself. It feels like deciphering ancient runes.
It really does feel that way sometimes. But we're building a private integration. We should probably define what oath actually is first.
Good idea. Oath is a secure digital bridge letting two different apps share your data.
That's a perfect way to describe it. You're basically telling Google that this specific bot is trustworthy.
But because you aren't a massive software company, it's unverified.
Right. You have to create a private project in the Google Cloud Console.
You are acting as your own developer here. You have to manually enable the APIs for each service.
Right. And it's a very tedious but necessary process. If you skip the Gmail API, the bot can't read emails.
You have to carefully enable Calendar, Drive, and the People API.
You're building the specific pathways the bot will use. You also add yourself as a test user.
Once those pathways are built, you create the actual credentials. You generate a JSON file that contains your private digital keys.
You download that desktop app OVO client ID file, and you feed it directly to OpenClaw in Telegram.
The bot reads it and generates a secure login link.
When you click that link, Google will throw a scary warning. It's going to say the app is entirely unverified.
Which makes sense because you just built it 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. It's your own private setup. You just bypass the warning and grant the permissions.
Google will eventually redirect you to a broken page.
That broken page is actually completely normal.
You just copy that broken URL from the address bar. You paste that full URL back into the Telegram bot.
That gives OpenClaw the final authentication details it needs.
You should test it immediately to verify the connection.
Start with a simple write test. Ask the bot to create a new calendar event for tomorrow.
Tell it to schedule a meeting with John on Friday.
If it successfully creates the event, try a read test. Ask it to read tomorrow's calendar back to you.
If it reads the event accurately, the connection is rock solid. Your AI now has read and write access to your life.
It's incredibly powerful.
Which leads to an important question about safety. How do we avoid exposing your entire digital life when setting up these skills?
You start by heavily restricting the system from day one. You choose one essential model to run the logic. You connect one single channel for communication. You install just one basic skill to test the waters.
So strictly limit permissions early on to keep your digital life perfectly secure.
Exactly.
Now that the AI has hands to interact with your tools, how do we give it a brain and a personality to know how to use them?
This is where things get really fascinating. Most AI tools on the market are total black boxes.
You type something in and you get a response back.
Yeah, you never see the underlying logic or the hidden prompts.
It's a closed loop that you can't inspect. But OpenClaw lets you look directly under the hood.
It uses very simple, readable markdown files to define its reality.
You don't need to know how to code at all.
You just ask the bot to edit the files directly.
It's like stacking Lego blocks of data to build a digital employee. You are literally coding its soul. Beat. How does the system actually use these files?
Every single time the bot wakes up, it reads them. It injects these text files into its core system prompt.
There are 4 crucial files that control absolutely everything.
The first one is called agents.md.
This is the ultimate rules file for the system. It dictates the boundaries of what the bot can do.
It controls the core behavior of the AI. You can establish absolute, unbreakable boundaries here.
You can say, always draft messages before sending them.
Or you can tell it to never delete files from Drive.
It is the bot's ethical framework and operational manual.
The second file is soul.md. This file dictates the bot's distinct personality and tone.
It controls the formality and the directness of its replies.
You can make it sound like a strict British butler, or you can make it sound like a laid-back surfer.
It changes how the bot fundamentally communicates with you.
The third file is user.md. This file provides the essential user context for the AI.
It stores your time zone and your specific work style. It holds all the personal preferences that make it useful.
If agents.md is how the bot acts.
User.md is who you are.
Exactly. It needs to know your priorities to be a good assistant.
Finally, we have memory.md. This is the long-term memory storage for the system.
Standard language models suffer from a limited context window. They eventually forget what you talked about yesterday.
Memory.md solves that fundamental problem entirely.
It keeps track of useful past context across different sessions. It stops the assistant from forgetting things between your chats.
The AI will proactively write important facts into this file.
You can also just ask the bot to show you these files. You can say, show me the contents of soul.md.
Or you can ask it to add a new rule. The bot reads the file, edits it, and saves the change.
It is entirely self-managing.
What happens if you ignore soul.md and just leave the default settings?
Well, if the file just says, be helpful, the bot feels incredibly weak. It lacks any real direction or strong personality.
It will become generic and highly inconsistent over time.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
A generic soul file simply guarantees an incredibly boring and generic AI assistant. We have the rules and the personality locked in. Beat. Now, let's take a quick break before we put this entire system on autopilot.
That's good.
Insert provided sponsor read here. Absolutely no mention of AI Fire Academy Premium Plan or any source material advertising.
And we are back.
This is where OpenClaw becomes a true proactive assistant. Up until now, it's just been reacting to our messages.
It stops waiting endlessly for your prompts. It starts acting on its own through background automations.
This is the difference between a tool and an employee. There are 2 main automation concepts to understand here.
We have cron jobs and we have the heartbeat function.
They serve very different purposes in your daily workflow. Let's define a cron job first.
Good call.
A cron job is a digital timer that runs a specific computer task on schedule.
Cron jobs are absolutely perfect for tasks at specific times. You can set up a really brilliant morning routine.
Every morning at 7 a.m., the bot wakes itself up.
It doesn't need a prompt. It just springs into action.
It checks the weather forecast for Paris. It scans your Google Calendar for the day's upcoming events.
It reads through your urgent Gmail messages. Then it sends a prioritized summary directly to Telegram.
It synthesizes all that data before you even wake up.
But you shouldn't just trust it blindly on day one. You should always start small and test it first.
Ask the bot to run a test of the routine immediately.
You want to verify the format before waiting until tomorrow.
Now let's discuss the heartbeat function. A heartbeat is a regular background pulse checking if a task needs immediate attention.
Heartbeats are designed for continuous, ongoing monitoring of your systems.
Instead of running at one exact time, they wake up frequently.
They might wake up every 30 minutes to check your inbox.
They can monitor for urgent emails or shifting meeting times. It's a persistent layer of awareness over your digital life. 2 seconds of silence. Why not just monitor everything all the time?
That is a massive and very expensive mistake. Every time the bot wakes up, it consumes API tokens.
It has to read all your markdown files to establish context.
It's essentially paying a small cognitive tax every single time.
So it adds up.
Fast. Heartbeats can burn through your token limits incredibly fast. You must never put heavy research tasks in a heartbeat loop.
Complex analytical tasks will drain your API budget overnight.
So it's a balance between awareness and operational cost.
Exactly. Heartbeats are meant for light monitoring only.
Daily briefings and scheduled reminders should always be cron jobs. Continuous checking for critical updates should be a heartbeat.
How should a beginner decide which of the two automations to use for a new task?
You just need to ask yourself one very simple question. Does this specific task need to happen at a set time?
Or does it need to keep watching your systems constantly?
That's the test.
Use cron for strict schedules and use Heartbeat to constantly monitor for updates.
Precisely.
Automations handle the routine. But to handle the complex, unpredictable real world, the AI needs to expand its senses.
We need to break the bot out of the text box. The most natural way to do this is with audio.
We can start by enabling its voice capabilities. You simply ask the bot to turn on audio transcription.
This lets the bot understand your spoken voice notes.
It's perfect for when you're away from the keyboard entirely.
You don't have to type out long, complex instructions anymore. You can just speak naturally into your phone while walking.
Setting up text-to-speech is the next logical step.
This lets the bot actually talk back to you.
It changes the entire emotional feel of the digital interaction.
It shifts from a command line to a conversation. It feels much more like a real human assistant.
Then we need to talk about live web search. By default, the bot only knows its static training data.
It lives in a historical bubble of past information.
Connecting a search API completely breaks that limitation.
You can connect something like the Brave Search API. This gives the AI a real-time window into the world.
This lets the bot research live, current events independently.
It can actively compare different software tools on the live web.
It gathers outside information entirely on its own.
It reads the websites, extracts the data, and synthesizes it, which brings us to the most advanced feature of all.
Subagents. Let's define that term clearly.
Yeah.
A subagent is miniature AI helpers working simultaneously to finish a large, complex task.
Subagents change the entire paradigm of how the bot works. Standard AI models generate text in a linear, sequential way.
They think about one thing at a single time.
But subagents introduce the concept of parallel cognitive processing.
The bot splits a massive task into parallel, smaller tasks.
It doesn't do things one by one anymore. It coordinates multiple streams of work at the exact same time.
It becomes a manager delegating tasks to its own clones.
For example, you can ask it to research 3 platforms. The main bot sends separate subagents to analyze each platform simultaneously.
They find the pricing models and the specific software limitations independently.
Then it combines all that asynchronous data into one clean summary.
Whoa! Beat. Imagine scaling that to a dozen subagents doing parallel research in seconds.
It's incredibly powerful, but requires real caution from the user. You're multiplying the complexity of the AI's internal logic.
You must add these capabilities one at a time.
Don't turn every advanced feature on at once. It's a recipe for chaos and unpredictable behavior.
You test one single voice note first.
You test one simple web search comparison. You build trust in the system slowly over time.
How do we prevent these subagents from going off the rails and hallucinating bad data?
You must start with a very simple, single variable comparison first. You verify the search results are completely clean and accurate.
You build absolute trust before scaling up to larger, complex tasks.
Exactly.
Test subagents on one simple comparison before giving them massive research projects.
That's the core philosophy of OpenClaw. You add one useful capability, and you test it properly.
You make sure the foundation is stable, then you move on to the next one.
It is the only way to build a reliable system.
Let's recap the big idea here today. A normal chatbot sits completely idle until you type something.
OpenClaw stays online, uses your tools, and works in the background.
The key to success isn't turning on every feature on day one. It's starting with one model, one channel, and one automation.
You adjust the rules, and you build trust slowly.
That's how you end up with a genuinely useful assistant. Here's a final thought for you to mull over. If you could hand off the single most tedious part of your digital life to a subagent tomorrow, what would it be? And as we outsource more of our daily logic to text files like soul.md, beat, how much of our own soul are we putting into these machines? Out to your own music.